Hi everyone, today I'm just going to review this fluffy 3D paper that you can order from Temu. So I'll just pop it up on the screen now so you can see how much that cost. I think it was $3.28 from memory now that I'm editing this video. So in order to get this thing started, I am going to draw a little teddy with a heart using my lead pencil, just so I've got that right. And then I'm going to go over it with a waterproof black pen. And then I'm going to use my Born to Create Officeworks Premium watercolour pencils to colour it in. So I'm just going to speed up the video here so that you can see those different parts. Now to colour in this little teddy background, I did use some Stampin' Up! Right markers that I've had lying around for ages. And before they end up running themselves dry, I thought this is the perfect opportunity to try and use some of them up. The watercolour pencils are a really good idea because when you add water, which is what makes this thing puffy toward the end, they do react with the water a little bit, so you'll find that the colours do blend just a tad. Now that I have the design drawn onto the 3D puffy paper, it's time to grab a paintbrush and a bit of water, and I'm just going to pick up water here and try and very carefully paint it into the sections on the teddy rather than drop it on the background. So only on the parts that I want to puff up am I going to apply that water. I'm using a paintbrush here, but if you have one of those water paintbrush pen things that you can put a little bit of water into, they work really, really well as well. And they come in different sizes, so you can be really precise when you come to put the water down onto your picture. It's actually a little bit relaxing and fun to watch the paper puff up underneath the paintbrush, I must say. I was enjoying this part of the process. Part that you want to puff. I think the idea here is that you do need to use a little bit of water to get it to activate, and try and use it and really define the lines of the little design that you've made. I do think that tracing around an outline in a waterproof black marker is a good idea, because this is one I did earlier where I didn't do that, and you can see that the paints, you can see that when it puffs up, it doesn't really define what the image is, especially if you're doing something a bit detailed like I did here today. So this would be so much fun to do with the kids. I'm just thinking, you know, even if you do something very, very simple like at Christmas time, when you're making some decorations for the tree and you want to make some decorations for the kids, you could easily create little Christmas trees like so. And then get the kids to colour them in with all the different elements. And then you can decide on which ones that you actually want them add the water to puff up. I do think that the watercolour pencils work really well as well, because they allow you to really work well on this rough paper, which is almost like watercolour quality, and they also activate with the water a little bit as well, so you do get them to combine in. So let's just do this little Christmas one as a second, and then we will be done here. So I'm just doing this very, very quickly. And you can leave the background white. You don't have to colour in the background. I think sometimes it looks pretty good when you do that. If you wanted to really define an image. And then we'll put some, let me see, let's put some red bubbles on the tree. Okay, really, really quickly just to show you. So there's the Christmas tree. We're going to leave the background white. So really making sure that we just, oops, and I've gone outside the line there, never mind. Okay. And just painting inside those sections with a very thin paintbrush with your water. So maybe as you're grabbing water, make sure that you dab your paintbrush off onto the side of your container so you don't accidentally drip on your project either. And we can get this little thing to puff up. It's a bit of fun. You know what? And sometimes when you go searching online, you find things that are just a little bit unusual, that are that little bit of fun that you can have with yourself, or you can use it with the, if you've got kids, you can actually do it with your children. So there we are. Sometimes the pieces of paper puff up better than others, but generally, I mean, it is just a really fun little project. And there we are. There's a Christmas tree. So you could, even though you can see that I've messed up just there, you can put a little, punch a hole in, add it to the Christmas tree. You can even add a little bit of sparkle to that with something else, like for instance, I don't know, with some liquid pearls. This is going to work. Oh, there we go. It's a bit empty, this one. There we go. Just to bring out those baubles a little bit better. There we go. And if you wanted to continue, make this, give this something a little bit extra, I might use this purple, for example, and you can go around the outside and add in like a little bit of a garland around the outside. So I was just testing this out to see whether or not it's worth ordering a whole lot to use in the classroom with the kids. And I do think that they would absolutely enjoy this immensely. It'd be almost like science experiments because they love those too. I'll just do this last little bit and then activate that. Don't mind my hand, I'm just sort of holding it down. Still a bit wet, as you can understand, in the middle. All right, maybe so we see those lines again. I do think this makes a huge amount of difference to the final piece at the end by adding in your waterproof black ink. There you have it. Just another example of how to use this product. There's two, one for Mother's Day one and the Christmas one. A lot of fun. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video and seeing what this product that's online on Temu can actually do and how to use it. I think each pack comes, well, this pack came with 5 stars and 3 circles, and I'll pop the price up on the screen. So plenty of fun to have with that very small packet. Thanks for watching today. Happy creating, everyone.